back to Movies on the Brain, where we dive into films that hit hard and cut deep. I'm Jason, and today I'm tackling the gripping drama 99 Homes. Directed by Ramin Larani, 99 Homes delivers a powerful story about survival, morality, and the ruthless realities of the housing crisis. With incredible performances from Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon, and Laura Dern, this film exposes the human cost of systematic greed and desperation. In 99 Homes, we're taken into a world where families fight to keep their homes, and the cost of survival comes with impossible choices. Let's break down this intense, thought-provoking drama and see why it resonates so deeply. 99 Homes opened in theaters on October 9th, 2015, with a budget of $8 million. In its 9-week theatrical run, it earned $1.4 million domestically and $416,305 internationally, making a worldwide total of $1.8 million. Its opening weekend saw it earn $32,253 and finishing number 56 in the box office behind Black Mass, Everest, The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, The Intern, and Hotel Transylvania 2. Numbers 5 through 1 respectively, with The Intern and Hotel Transylvania 2 opening the same weekend. Its final week in theaters saw it earn $3,076, finishing its theatrical run at number 89. Recently unemployed single father Dennis Nash, a former construction worker in Orlando, Florida, is evicted together with his mother Lynn, a hairdresser, and young son Connor from the foreclosed home they share. Real estate agent Rick Carver is in charge of the eviction, and police officers who provide the enforcement call him boss. Dennis and his family move into a shabby, cramped motel room. Dennis goes to Rick's office and tries to take back his tools stolen by Rick's men. Rick sees the confrontation and is impressed by Dennis's gumption. He offers Dennis work as a repairman at his properties, and Dennis accepts. Dennis soon becomes Rick's assistant, helping to carry out evictions himself and quickly learning the real estate schemes that exploit government and banking rules to the disadvantage of struggling homeowners. It is revealed that Rick and Dennis have similar backgrounds, and having seen how his father worked hard for no reward and how stacked the system is against the common man, Rick reasons it's better to be the hunter than to be the hunted. Dennis takes a cut for the work he is performing for Rick and dips into the glamorous lifestyle in which Rick indulges. On his rounds, he encounters the father of his son's best friend, but the man turns hostile towards Dennis when he sees him become part of Rick's eviction business. He says the eviction is legal and will fight it in court. Almost as soon as he begins working for Rick, Dennis tells Rick to keep the checks Rick offers as payment so that he can buy back the house from which he was evicted. Rick warns him to not get sentimental about real estate and tells him to keep his money for now, since it's not enough to buy the house back. However, they make a deal with Rick to buy back his family's old house, but the legal process prevents them from moving in immediately. Nonetheless, he surprises his mother and son, showing them the house and telling them they will move back in. Meanwhile, an evicted homeowner living in the same motel as Dennis and his family recognizes and threatens him. He denies knowing the man, but his mother and son are suspicious of how he's making money. Having witnessed the malicious calls Rick often gets, he decides to move out of the motel room immediately by selling the family home and buying a much more luxurious home instead. When Dennis brings his mother and son to the luxurious house and informs them he bought it and sold their old house so they could get out of the motel room immediately, his mother does not believe at first that he has bought the house. And Dennis's mother is shocked by the loss of their lifelong home and is repelled as she realizes Dennis got his newfound wealth by helping Rick victimize vulnerable homeowners who have financial problems. Connor is also unhappy with the arrangement and sides with his grandmother as they leave Dennis to stay with her brother. Rick puts together a multi-million-dollar real estate deal, but it is jeopardized by a legal case brought by a homeowner he is trying to evict. The deal is set to collapse if the homeowner wins, as he asserts that there is no full set of documents to evict him. Rick forges the document and entrusts Dennis to deliver it to the court, which puts him in a moral dilemma. Dennis eventually obeys Rick's order to deliver the missing document to court, defeating the homeowner's legal case. The subsequent eviction turns into an armed standoff. Fearing that the man whose family is also in the house will likely be killed in a shootout, Dennis confesses to giving a forged document to the court. The homeowner surrenders, and Dennis is escorted to the law enforcement's car so they can speak with Rick. As Dennis waits in the car, the homeowner's son smiles at him and quickly runs away. Now let's look at the cast and some of their other roles. Andrew Garfield as Dennis Nash. Other roles for Andrew Garfield include Tobias in We Live in Time, Jonathan Larson in Tick Tick Boom, and Desmond Voss in Hacksaw Ridge. Michael Shannon as Rick Carver. Other roles for Michael Shannon include Shriver in A Little White Lie, Renner in Abandoned, and Blade Griggs in Poor Boy. Laura Dern as Lynn Nash. Other roles for Laura Dern include Kate in The Sun, Ellie Sattler in the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchises, and Jennifer in The Tale. Tim Guinea as Frank Green. Other roles for Tim Guinea include Bill Peterson in the TV show The Staircase, Major Allen in Iron Man, Scott Ryan in the TV show Homeland. Noah Lomax as Connor Nash. Other roles for Noah Lomax include Andrew in Trial by Fire, Mike in The Secret Society of Second Born Royals, and Josh in Safe Haven. Clancy Brown is Mr. Freeman. Other roles for Clancy Brown include Salvatore Maroni in the TV show The Penguin, Mr. Krabs in the TV show SpongeBob SquarePants, and Isaac in 2019's Lady and the Tramp. Cynthia Santiago as Mrs. Green. Other roles for Cynthia Santiago include Chris's wife in Glow, Christine in False Engagement, and Kat in Suburban Coven. J.D. Evermore as Mr. Tanner. Other roles for J.D. Evermore include Sheriff Carl Daggett in the TV show Rectify, O.B. in Django Unchained, and Chapin in 12 Years a Slave. Manu Narayan as Kana. Other roles for Manu Narayan include Rajneesh in The Love Guru, Amir in The Assistant, and Darius in Walkaway. Colin Moss as Bill. Other roles for Colin Moss include Mayor Bartlett in Assassination Nation, Shoop in the TV show Outer Banks, and Jack in Well Wishes. Nadia Sky as Tamika. The only other role for Nadia Sky has been Galaxy and Keanu. You know, Michael Shannon's character comes across as kind of a prick, but he also seems like he's hiding something at the beginning when the police want a statement from him. Andrew Garfield's character just seemed to lose money due to the house he's working on's funding not going through. And the way you can read how stressed he is about that on his face is pretty great. And then for him to potentially lose his house is the start of an interesting story. Honestly, Laura Dern being cast as Andrew Garfield's mom is really such a fun choice because just the way some of the shots are, they do favor each other, so it works a lot. Interesting that Dennis and Lynn are being kicked out of their house by Rick Carver, and to me it seems that like the judge didn't inform Carver about the 30 days. Laura Dern starts to get emotional about actually really well written and well done. The entire eviction scene is really well shot. That scene with Connor finding out they're getting evicted was so hard to watch, and Noah Lomax, who I'm not familiar with, was great at portraying being upset about what was happening. The film stays pretty tense throughout, but that scene Dennis accuses one of the guys who was emptying his house of stealing his tools escalated really fast. Dennis getting Carver's guys to help him with the sewage backup was brilliant, and Carver being slightly annoyed that they listened to Dennis was well shot. Duality of man at work, with Carver being a hard ass And Dennis being sympathetic is interesting to watch, and I love the chemistry between Michael Shannon and Andrew Garfield. I say that a lot in these reviews that I really like some of the chemistry. Seeing Dennis get that first check from Carver and the way Andrew Garfield's reaction is was well shot. Dennis is starting to slowly turn into the kind of man Carver is, but he's still trying to be sympathetic at the same time when he's posting eviction notices and talking to the homeowners about foreclosure. I like that Carver is softening on Dennis, even to the point of giving Dennis his home back. Getting Carver's backstory over halfway through the movie was a smart move, because it opens Dennis's eyes to why Carver is the way he is. Dennis serving his first eviction and the drama that ensues because of it was hard to watch. It was well shot and well written. And I say that a lot too. Dennis evicting the elderly man nearly broke him. It would have broke me, I had to really think. Over an hour until seeing Clancy Brown after I saw he was cast in this movie, and him being on screen with both Michael Shannon and Andrew Garfield was really awesome. I thought Dennis has really learned a lot from Carver, and it's wild to watch. I was waiting for someone to blow up at Dennis, and it was tense and insane to watch, especially when he went off on his mom. I think Dennis taking charge on the 100 home deal impressed Carver. Getting a bit of backstory on Dennis while he's drunk was an interesting choice, but I liked it. I really did. The other shoe dropped once Lynn said she didn't want to live in the new house Dennis bought after she realized who Dennis works for. Dennis having to watch the court take Frank Green's home away had to have been the hardest scene for Andrew Garfield to film, and for his mom and son to leave in the very next scene as a 1-2 punch, I honestly didn't expect. Dennis telling Frank the whole truth when he was being held at gunpoint is such a powerful scene for it to end on. Overall, this was a really, really fantastic drama that I can't recommend enough. Now for some fun facts and trivia. Director Ramin Barani used a 24 millimeter lens for close-ups of Andrew Garfield, as it gave greater depth as to what was showing on his face. Ramin Ramin Barani dedicated the film to late movie critic Roger Ebert. In the beginning of the film, Dennis and Frank's little boys comment on how Australia looks like the USA upside down. Lar's theme of the film is the reversal of Dennis's role from evicted to evictee, and also on how the American moral system is completely upside down. This is the first time Andrew Garfield has grown a beard for a film. The film won Grand Prix at 2015's Deauville American Film Festival. The film was released by Broad Green Pictures. And that's a wrap on my review of 99 Homes. This film is a raw, unflinching look at the human cost of the housing crisis, with powerful performances that linger long after the credits roll. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movies on the Brain for more deep dives into films that explore tough, real-world issues. Let me know in the comments, what did you take away from 99 Homes, and how did its themes resonate with you? Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, sometimes the hardest choices reveal who we truly are.